now connected to Gameover.
Hey, what up guys? Thank you for joining me for another Walking Dead video today. I just want to talk about the identity of the true leader of the Delta Raiders, because I hear a lot of people actually talking about this in my comments, and I want to go ahead and put my hat into the ring. So initially I thought that Lily was the one in charge of the Raiders and would be the final boss of the Walking Dead final season. But there is certain dialogue in episode 2, Suffer the Children, that suggests that she is not the one running things.
You may be able to keep this up a while longer, but eventually he'll slow you down. A walker you didn't spot. A bullet you couldn't dodge. A desperate cry for help that brings the herd.
Maybe, but you'll die first.
Brave, but stupid. I'm surprised you made it this far. You need a better plan than just killing your enemies.
Fuck, we don't have time for all this.
We've got history.
Great. You know her, I know her. Point is, we've got a job to do.
Now Abel here reminds Lily we have a job to do when her focus wavers after seeing Clementine again. And this is not something I think he would say to the main person giving out all the orders. This is something you would say to probably a co-worker or maybe a partner. Lily does seem to be the leader of the recruiting party here, you know, gather up more soldiers, kidnap more kids, but I don't think she's the leader of their main base. Like when we get back to the base, who's actually giving orders in the war effort? Who's actually commanding the troops and telling them what to do and making the plans? I think there may be someone else behind the scenes behind this whole group here. Now, some people in my comments think that it could be Krista from season 1 and 2, but I think that's a huge leap for Krista, her character, to transition over to being the head of the Raiders. I mean, last we saw Krista, she was in a very dire situation, being held to gunpoint, and we hearing gunshots being fired. Going from there to being the head of the Delta Raiders, that's a long way to travel. And I'm still looking for an explanation from Lily to understand how she became a part of this group. Even though her transition over to Delta Raiders isn't as far-fetched, it's still, I want to know more. Okay, so I don't think that Krista is a viable option for being the leader here. I've also read people mentioning Arvo from season 2 as the one behind the scenes controlling everything here. Now I made a video a couple years ago actually talking about Arvo, his possible return to take his revenge on Clementine and filling that role, that villain role in the future. But I just cannot picture Arvo being in charge of a group like the Delta Raiders. I mean, would Lily actually take orders from a person like Arvo? Arvo, a character who is physically weak due to his leg disability and mentally weak, being possibly pushed around and bossed around by the Russian group that he was once part of, and also trying to take his revenge on Clementine, who is really not the one responsible for killing his sister. Clementine just saw her as she turned into a walker and finished her off, put her out of her misery, and Arvo wants to take his revenge out on her. She's not the one who killed his sister, so it probably was another character among the group, no doubt, but Arvo, just so misguided, takes his revenge out on Clementine. So him giving commands in this type of situation does sound a little far-fetched. So I did hope to see Arvo again, but being in charge of this group, I just don't see it. Now there is another character that we met a long time ago, back in season 1 and 2, that I believe could fill this role though.
Wish me luck.
Yeah, good luck. Be careful. Just get as many of them as you can.
You got it. Hey, don't schmitz.
Don't fucking move! Who the fuck are you?
My name is Tavia.
Tavia, Carver's right-hand woman.
Oh, there you are. What's with the ugly jacket?
Tavia.
What?
Never mind. I'll see you later, Clementine.
Come on.
When we first encountered Tavia in the 400 Days DLC back in season 1, we were controlling her character and we were presented with several dialogue options that could convince the rest of the 400 Day cast to join her community, which we found out in season 2 was really Carver's community. And this to me is an example of Tavia's charisma and her ability to recruit people over to join her. And in season 2, we see the 400-day characters that we actually recruited fulfilling their roles, like a soldier, guns in hands, and patrolling the Carver compound. And also in season 2, who do you think was in charge when Carver was away, trying to get Rebecca back at the house in the woods and at the ski lounge? Who do you think he left in charge when he was away?
Hello there.
Get out of here, now.
Is that how your dad taught you to greet a neighbor?
I've got a gun.
Most likely it was Tavia, so she does have some leadership abilities there. We know that Carver's community was a place that will take people, and even children, against their will and force them to work for them.
Daylight's burning. They let you sleep in, all things considered.
Where's my dad?
He's where the rest of you are going, to work.
Which is very similar to what's happening here in the final season with the Delta Raiders. Just except instead of taking people in to work for them, they're taking kids in to, fight that war. Now, of course, the last time we saw Tavia, it didn't look so good. She was defending Carver's place against a herd of walkers, and her current life or death situation and whereabouts are still unknown. But out of all the past game characters who have the leadership experience and the toughness I think that is required to command a person like Lily and Abel and the other soldiers, I think Tavia checks all the boxes. And it was also mentioned by Telltale Games prior to the release of episode 1 of this season that there would be a return of multiple characters from season 1 of The Walking Dead. So initially I was thinking Clementine and now Lily. They're both from season 1, they're both here now, that's it. But Clem was an obvious choice, so they might have meant a different character. Maybe Tavia. So guys, that's just my theory on the Delta Raiders' true leader. Most likely not going to happen, and it'll probably be an entirely new character, or perhaps Lily is in charge. Tavia, though, I think is an interesting choice. It will reveal what became of the people left over at Carver's place after we actually left in season 2 and got away and escaped. It also could be a possible reappearance of the other characters from the 400 Days DLC. Like I said, not very likely, because those characters are pretty much determinate characters that could be in the story or not based on your choices. And now I think about it, Carver's downfall was brought upon him because he was trying to pursue a person that was not his to pursue. Rebecca, a married woman. His relationship with her led to his tyrannical instability and ultimately his demise. If he had remained with Tavia, who knows how strong their community could have become.
Now, I understand some of you are confused as to why we bring these people back when they left us as they did.
Think I've got an idea.
It might not come all at once, but time will heal these wounds.
A theory for another day. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap up this video right here. Tell me your thoughts on who do you think the true leader of the Delta Raiders is, and what do you think of Tavia possibly being the one? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please rate and subscribe for more. Peace.
Now disconnected from Game Over.
We understand. I think we've all made up our minds.
Well, I guess we have our group. What do you want to do with these?
This is a good thing. I know it is.
How do we know this will work out?
I give you my word.